Hey everybody, JayC here, and welcome to a Tuesday night live stream. And today we are going to be giving away this beauty of a box from Hasbro. A big thanks to the Hasbro PR folks for sending this out to me. And it is filled with G.I. Joe classified figures, which I will show you what's inside. But later on, we are going to do kind of like last week, if you were here for the HasLab His Tank giveaway, where I'm just going to do a random scroll through the comments and pick one lucky winner, and that person will win. So for those who did tune in last week for the HasLab His Tank giveaway, Omega Maximus did end up claiming his prize. So he is, when Hasbro starts to ship those bad boys out, he will be getting at least one. You know, maybe he ordered another one for himself, so I'll have two. But he did end up claiming his prize, even though he'd left the live stream a little bit early. So just to note on that, if if you're here at the beginning and you happen to, your name gets picked, but you're not here at the end of the live stream when we do the drawing, I'll give you 24 hours. You'll want to come back here and maybe just scan through the video when it's a regular video, check and see if your name was called. And if your name is called, you'll be able to email me and claim your prize. So you'll have 24 hours essentially from when this video ends tonight to do that. Again, if you don't happen to be here when we actually do the drawing towards the end of the live stream. The one other thing I need to, unfortunately, the one other rule I need to put in place is, because this is such a big box and such, I am going to limit this to folks who here in the United States. So you have to have an address, that this can be sent to here in the United States in order for you to actually win it. So that's the one caveat with this is I'm not going to try and fool with international shipping with this thing. So yeah, that's why sometimes when I do giveaways, I'll do like the store credits or things like that. But where international folks can win. But again, with this one, with this big ass box, I'm going to keep it to folks. If you have somebody you can have it sent to, then forward it on to you, then you can do that. But again, it needs to be a U.S. address that I would be mailing this out to if you end up winning. All right, guys, so let us see who's in the house. Let me scroll back up towards the top of the comments just to get an idea of who's here. Daniel Allen is in the house, so welcome. Joe, Rick, Blade Star, Trek Obi, what's up, man? JREM 86, Blake, got a couple of different Blakes that pop in here. B&B Toys, Patrick, Mr. Allmine. So it looks like we do have a full house here tonight, which is always good to see. Our original Blake is here in the house as well. Travis, what's up? So let's start off with talking the HasLab campaign as this live stream begins. We are at 13,591 backers, so we've got just a little over 400 to go before we unlock that third stretch goal. I'm guessing probably maybe tomorrow we'll get to that point. It's definitely slowed down a bit, over the weekend, the long holiday weekend. The backers definitely started to slow down. Even though, the third unlockable stretch goal was pretty cool in my opinion. A third figure a female his tank driver or gunner, whatever you want to call her, and then the extra cannon on the front and the two guns that you can attach to the back of the tank as well. So I thought stretch goal number 3 out of the first 3 so far is definitely been the best. Probably number 2 was the one I was least excited about, with that classic canopy and tank tread covers. The first one was okay with the missile launchers, but now I am wondering, are they gonna like is 4 is stretch goal number, like, I have no doubt we'll unlock stretch goal number 3. Maybe it'll take a little bit longer to tomorrow, I don't know, but I have no doubt we'll get to 14,000 backers. But I'm curious what they're going to do for the 4th and final stretch goal. If it's going to be, like the best one, are they saving the best for last? Or is it going to be something that, maybe is on par with like the second or first stretch goals? Like just add-ons or something. I gotta figure maybe some type of blast effects will be included. I would think that would be, but I don't know. But I feel, if it's gonna get, it'll need to get to 16,000 backers in order to reach that final stretch goal, whatever it is. And so I figure it's going to have to be pretty, it's definitely, this campaign's kind of slowed down a little bit. And I think part of it's just that, you always have those who wait until the very end. So you'll get that big boost towards the end of the campaign, like always. But, I feel like, all the G.I. Joe classified diehard fans who are into this, have probably at least gotten one, if not more. So, it may just be we're starting to kind of get towards the bottom of the numbers of people that are, really that much into G.I. Joe Classified. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I feel like if it's not like a major thing for the 4th stretch goal, it's definitely going to take probably the remaining days to get to that 16,000. If it's something really cool, if it's another figure, if, something like that, then, people will end up buying more than one or something like that, and I think the pace will pick back up and definitely get to 16. But I guess we'll just have to see. All music fans said love they did the his tank, but too much for him. But wish everyone the best. Yeah, I mean, $300 is $300. I mean, I think it's worth the money as far as what you're getting, but especially with inflation and everything going on in the world today, if you just don't feel like you can spend that much money on on a toy like that, I think I think that's personally reasonable. Kyle, did I back the Robo Skull? No, I did not. I thought it was pretty cool looking, but it's just, that I just wasn't really into that thing. So, and, it comes down to space and things like that. So I did not, but I did think that, that was a cool looking, I thought they did a pretty good job with that and it was cool looking. It's just, it wasn't specifically G.I. Joe related. And so I did not get that. Power Turtle Busters, what's up? 3M says $2.99. I should be able to ride around in the hist. Yeah. Life-size motorized his tank. I think probably would cost a little more than $300. I'm curious, like, how many people bought more than one his tank? Like, how many people are like gonna army build this thing? I mean, it is kind of an army builder, but I'm curious to how many people are actually going to try and army build. There were people like with the Marvel Legends Sentinel, where I saw like buying like 10 of them. I mean, or something crazy like that. And I was amazed. Now I have to wonder if some of those aren't going to get resold, but there were more people army building the Sentinel than I would have expected. So I'm curious on the his tank, how many people are going to buy more than one to army build it. I'm just one. I'm only getting one his tank, so. Michael, it's a big giant red skull with legs. It was a Kickstarter. Just Google it and it'll probably come up for you. I don't know if they set a limit on the his tank. The Sentinel I think had 5. They might have a limit on the his tank as well. But people always find ways around that kind of stuff, because I saw somebody on Facebook had posted like a picture of like 10 Sentinels. Yeah, well, I mean, Hasbro like will pick a few. Well, like with most of the HasLabs, they haven't said anything about international folks who don't have access to Hasbro Pulse. If they're going to make the his tank available to anybody, but usually they make it available to like a few select retailers. Like Zavvi is one that they've been using for the HasLabs and stuff. But places like Big Bad Toy Store, they pick up a few and basically resell it to anyone who maybe missed out on the original HasLab offering. But they're essentially having to mark it up a little bit because they bought it at the same price that if you got it through HasLab, uh, you paid for. So and I don't have a huge problem with that, because it's not like scalping where, like, if you're going to the store and you're buying up all the inventory so that no one else can get it, that just helps, if a retailer buys a number of them and later on resells them, that's just helping the counter. So, and it also, for those who, maybe couldn't back it during the actual HasLab campaign, gives them an opportunity to, they have to pay a little bit more, but it gives them an opportunity to go back and maybe get something that they wish they could have gotten when it was readily available. We did the his tank giveaway last week, and the winner did end up claiming it. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he claimed his prize. So tonight, so yeah, let's, because I know a lot of like influencers or people that work with Hasbro, they got this box, and they did like unboxing videos and stuff. So most of you have probably seen what's inside here, but let's go over it just in case. So this is what we're giving away tonight. So again, this was sent out to me by Hasbro, but I feel like when I get something like this from Hasbro, my inclination is to pass it on to you guys, give you an opportunity to get something cool. A lot of times with these things, it's the box. The box is the coolest thing. But this box actually has some pretty good stuff in it. So first of all, we have Snake Eyes' Katana Sword, which is for the kid. This is made more for the kids. It's plastic, pretty light, not sharp really or anything. So you has Snake Eyes' Katana Sword in this box. So again, this is for the kids. So a kid, if he started swinging this thing around, could probably do some damage, but it's not sharp, though. It's not sharp at all. So that's in here. For you 3 3/4 inch O-ring collectors, you've got the Cobra Officer, Cobra Soldier 2-pack. So the box got a little dented on this one, but that's in here, so you're gonna get that. I'm almost tempted to keep this though. I got the first one. I got the Storm Shadow and the Snake Eyes, but I didn't get this one, and I don't really have any plans to get the Duke and the Cobra Commander one. I just feel like these are a little bit on the pricey side for what you get. I like the O-ring figures, and also I have most of these figures in the scale, for the 25th anniversary. I'm not one of those people that like just love the O-rings and feel like, you have to have O-ring figures. So I'm pretty happy with my 25th anniversary ones. I'm still debating on whether I want to get that Cobra Stinger Jeep. All right, and everything else in here is classified oriented. So one Target exclusive Python Patrol figure with the Viper soldier is in here. So I don't have, you're going to have this before I do. I have this on pre-order from Target, but Target obviously hasn't shipped it yet. So I'm going to go and send this out in the box, even though I don't have one myself yet. So Tiger Force. Also, Walmart Retro Baroness is in here, so I don't have this one either. I have it on pre-order at Walmart. I gotta be honest, I prefer the Target one a little better. I don't know why they made her glasses removable. She never takes her glasses off in anything, so I don't know why they felt the need to do that. I mean, it's not a bad looking face. I don't know how well you can see that, but I don't know. It was weird that they took the glasses off. And then when you take the glasses off, you get the little holes. So, and then you don't get as much detail. Like the belt buckle, the Cobra symbol on the belt buckle is just straight black as opposed to red. So you don't have any of the gold highlights, which is kind of nice, but I don't know. Overall, I kind of prefer the Target one. So I pre-ordered the ones that are already up there, this first wave, which is the Lady J, the Baroness, the Gung Ho, and the Destro. And I got 2 Gung Ho because the Gung Ho I got it open, but then I'm going to just keep the ones I pre-ordered from Walmart. I'm just going to keep on the packaging because I do like the classic, card back packaging. So, but you'll get Baroness. And again, you'll have Baroness before I do. You're going to get Storm Shadow. I still think this is a strong contender for Action Figure of the Year. The Storm Shadow figure, classic Storm Shadow. That I do have. Same thing with Spirit. With Freedom. I have 2 Spirits. And I'm going to take the Freedom in one of them and give it to my Peacemaker figure, the McFarlane Peacemaker figure for Eagly. So you get that. So I'm noticing, I thought it was in here, but I guess it's not. The Cobra Officer, they did not include in here. So you do not get a Cobra Officer figure, but you do get the Storm Shadow and you do get the Spirit figure. And then, of course, you get the Python Patrol Viper. The final thing in this set is Croc Master. So you will get a deluxe Croc Master figure in this set. I have my own. I have not yet opened it, though. It just came the other day from Big Bad Toy Store. So, but it looks like a really solid figure. I hear the alligator is really cool. They did a really good job with the alligator. So you will get Croc Master in this box as well. So that is what one lucky person is going to win tonight. Again, along with this cool box that, something, you might want to display if you have room. The inside's just doesn't have the box just doesn't have a whole lot, but All right, trying to get this box is really big. It's not like super heavy, but it's really long. So, but nothing really on the back. But you get that cool original artwork featuring Baroness Scarlet, Cobra Commander. This is G.I. Joe 40th anniversary, 1982 to 2022. So again, towards the end of the live stream tonight, I'm just going to do a random drawing here. Call out the name, and that person, as long as they have a U.S. mailing address that I can send it to, they will win. I will put my email in the comment or in the video description of this video. In case you're not here when I call the name out, you'll have 24 hours to, check the video, see if you won, and contact me and claim your prize. If you don't stay until the end of the live stream. Like Omega Maximus, who left the live stream last week early and then ended up winning his tank, man. So he did get it claimed though. Blake, oh man, always appreciate you, man. $50 super chat donation, much appreciated. So I also wanted to update you, for those of you who've been following. So I sold the bins that I pulled out of storage filled with toys and stuff. I sold those yesterday. So the folks from a vintage toy store here in the area, about an hour away, drove out here, called Eternia Dreams. If you live in this area, the Maryland area, Maryland, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area, I recommend you check them out. It's probably the nicest vintage toy store I've ever been in as far as like organization and size. It's in a mall. And, a lot of times when I go into vintage toy stores, they're usually these pretty small stores and everything's like just stacked up on top of everything. It's even hard to find anything when if you're looking for something specific. But at this store, it's set up like an actual toy store, where everything is set in different areas of the store. It's well organized and such. So, they say they're the biggest vintage toy store. I wouldn't go quite that far. I think there are probably some bigger ones out there, but they're definitely big. And definitely in this area, probably the biggest vintage toy store around. So they're called Eternia Dreams. Google them if you want. But I sold them. They came out. They took a look at the stuff. They gave me a fair price. Obviously, if I had tried to sell everything individually, I probably could have gotten more money. But I just did not have the time or the inclination to want to try and do that. So they gave me, I had a set range price in my mind of what I was willing to take. I'd done some research looking at things on eBay and stuff, and just looking at the condition of the stuff that I had and stuff. And so I had this like price range of what I was looking for, and they hit kind of right in the middle of it. So, and I was like, I don't like to haggle. I don't like to try and who knows, maybe I could have haggled and gotten more, but I was like, they hit the price. I was like, done deal. They paid for it. They took it all out of here for me. And, I'm sure at some point there'll be some things that I, maybe regret that I sold, but for the most part, that stuff just sat in storage, not easily accessible. The longer it sat out there in storage, the more likely stuff was going to get lost or broken or what have you. And they are the guy who owns the store is a big He-Man fan. He goes to PowerCon and things like that. So I think he's met Pixel Dan, but Pixel Dan doesn't live in this area, so I don't know if he's ever actually traveled to that store. But he probably would like it if he did, because they definitely have a strong He-Man and the Masters of the Universe themed. But they have everything. They have Marvel. They have GI Joe. They have a lot of GI Joe. They have Star Wars, and since they bought a lot of the stuff I had, they have even more of it. So what I don't mind is, well, it depends. If an action figure falls off the shelf and it breaks, that definitely sucks. But usually, if it just falls, that's not the big deal. What I hate is when you get the domino effect and one figure falls and it falls into another and it ends up like knocking half your shelf down. That's what I hate. That's my thought, John, is it sat out there for years and I wasn't using it and very rarely. I mean, it wasn't even like something I could easily access because having to go out and search through that storage facility and stuff to try and find something was not easy. So, yeah, I mean, that's my thought. There are times where it's like I'll see something online and I'm like, "Oh, I have that." And so I'm going to be like, "Oh, I used to have that." But for the most part, I just don't think it's going to be something. It's much better going to, hopefully, somebody else will buy that stuff and it'll go to a home where those people will be able to enjoy the stuff a lot more than I was able to. I mean, I enjoyed it at the time that I bought it. Most of that stuff, though, some of that stuff I also just gotten to like review for the sites or things like that. But yeah. And I didn't sell, obviously, I didn't sell everything that I own. I still have plenty of stuff. I didn't sell most of my Marvel, my Toy Biz Marvel Legends I still have. Most of my DC Direct stuff I have. Star Wars Black Series, 3 3/4 inch Star Wars, Marvel Universe, all that stuff I still have. So it was mostly just, a lot of G.I. Joe, a lot of old Star Wars, a lot of some Transformers, like not Masterpiece or anything like that, but like some of the older Transformer lines, Armada, things like that, Rid, things like that. So, but yeah, I still have plenty of collectibles. What's up, Walrus? And it gets to be, I mean, that was 20 years worth of collectibles. I mean, basically, well, even maybe more than 20 years. And it's just like, I wish I could live in a mansion where I could just have like rooms where I could display stuff like that. But that's, I mean, I live in a decently sized house, but I can allocate 2 rooms. This area here you see in my main office upstairs, and that's it. And I just, I'm never gonna have the room to display all that stuff. So yeah, that Fortnite boat. For those not familiar, just posted about this shortly before the live stream. So this popped up on Hasbro Pulse UK. So I don't know when or where this is going to be available here in the US, but they're doing a 6-inch scale motorboat for Fortnite. But I feel like this is something that G.I. Joe fans might get into as well. Now the UK price was like $81. I don't know how that's going to translate into, US, but they're doing the 6-inch scale boat for Fortnite. So Robert, I don't do a lot of third party stuff. I've got like maybe 2 third party Transformer figures for MP. I have a Galvatron and I have Reflector, and I got those because I figured we'd probably never see Takara do those. But no, I generally don't do a whole lot in the way of like third party or bootleg stuff like that. Mr. B, I don't know. That was I don't have kids, so I don't have anyone to I got a nephew, I've got some nieces, but are any of them really gonna be my nephew maybe, but I've had conversations with my wife when it's like we've sat, I mean, in all honesty, where we've talked about, if like I were to pass away before she does, I mean, she doesn't know what any of this stuff is. So, it would be very hard for her to, figure out what to do with a lot of this stuff. So that was kind of, I mean, I'll be honest, that kind of went into my thinking as far as going on and selling a lot of that stuff that was in the storage. It's because, you know, I just feel like let somebody else have it, and hopefully they'll enjoy it. Omega says crossover cartoon with Transformers, Ghostbusters, and Stranger Things. Well, on Friday, don't forget Friday, we're gonna see revealed on Target's website those Playmate Toys Stranger Thing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. So I don't know if it's a mashup where they're taking turtle characters and making them look like Stranger Thing guys, or if it's like two packs where we get a 6-inch Stranger Thing figure along with a turtle. But that's coming Friday, so I'm really curious to see what that is and what it looks like. I watched the final two episodes of Stranger Things on Netflix this weekend, and I thought it was really good. So I thought they did a really good job with it. Um, I'm even looking forward to season five. I felt like maybe season four should have been the last season, but now I'm kind of like looking forward to season five. I'm glad season five is going to be the final season because I do feel like the show has kind of run its course, though I hear they're doing spin-off series. But but yeah, I thought they did a really good job with season four, and season five I'm actually looking forward to. I watched the third season of Umbrella Academy. I thought that was pretty good too. I've never read the comics for Umbrella Academy, so I've watched all three seasons on Netflix, but I thought that was pretty good. I'm currently watching a show on Amazon Prime starring Chris Pratt called Terminal, where he's a Navy SEAL. So that's kind of interesting, but but I mean, you're right. They keep re-releasing a lot of the same stuff, Power Turtle, but at the same time, that stuff always seems to sell out. So I can't say I blame them for doing it if people are interested in buying all that stuff. So I don't know. I think part of it is they're still waiting for the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon, whatever incarnation cartoon Nickelodeon's going to put out. That's what they're really waiting for. So everything they're kind of doing now is just kind of like um, keeping them afloat until Nickelodeon gets around to actually releasing the new next cartoon. It's a weird series. It's maybe not quite what you expect going in. I haven't finished it yet, so I won't say 100%, but so far it's held my attention at least. So, oh, and the boys this season I've been enjoying as well. I have not. I watched the first season of Westworld, and I thought it was pretty confusing. So I'd never I didn't watch season two, and I haven't tried watching season three. It kind of lost me after season one. I don't know if it's gotten better or what, but and The Boys is another one where I've never read the comics, so my only exposure to them is the TV show. And I keep hearing things like how the TV show is tame compared to the comics, I've been enjoying it. Trakobi, thank you, man. Always appreciate the super chat donations. Richie, the boys Kickstarter? No, I wasn't aware there was a Kickstarter for the boys. I've got the NECA figures for the boys, and like the face sculpts are, especially with like Starlight, the face sculpt isn't that great, but I've got the Black Noir, the Homelander, and Starlight from NECA, but I haven't gotten any of the Mafex ones. I think the next one NECA's doing is A Train. I never like I had the original three Dinobots, and I had Snarl, but I didn't get Swoop. I bought Swoop from some kid down the street from my house, a second hand version that was kind of had really loose joints and was definitely been played with. But I didn't buy Swoop was the one Dinobot that I didn't buy brand new as a kid. You fell asleep during the Stranger Things? Man, that thing was action packed as hell. I've not played the Turtles Revenge game. I don't know, I just because I have the Turtles arcade game back here, I just haven't like and part of it's also time. If you're asking Turtles, I mean Nickelodeon does the turtle cartoon, so they should have. I think things got off track because of COVID, but there should be at some point another new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon that comes to Nickelodeon. I am watching the Miss Marvel, but I've not yet watched last week's episode, so I'm just waiting until tomorrow and I'll watch episode what 3 and 4 together. It's been decent. I mean, it's not like knocking my socks off, but I haven't hated it either. What's my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line? I don't know. I've never been. Turtles is another toy line that I did not collect at all as a kid. So the NECA stuff's the one that I currently carry, collect the most. So I would say probably the NECA stuff. But Turtles is not. I watched cartoons. I read some of the like I read all the Archie comics. Like as far as comics go, I'm probably more familiar with the Archie stuff. But but yeah, NECA Turtles is my main turtle line. I picked up over the years a few of the more recent Playmate stuff, but but that was mostly just so I could like review it for the sites or what have you. Uh, I just turtle figures and toys have because I didn't collect them as a kid or anything, don't have quite the nostalgia for me as other toy lines. If you're asking, have I seen anything for the next has like this year's HasLab? I have not. I I ran a poll on Marvelous News asking people if they'd rather see an X-Men Blackbird or a new updated Fin Fang Foom figure. Seems like Foom was in the lead. A lot of people don't think X-Men Blackbird Jet is too doable, a 6-inch scale X-Men Jet. So, but I have no idea what they're planning this year for HasLab for Marvel Legends. Dwight in an interview this year said he would love to get an opportunity to uh, redo the Fin Fang Foom. They did it originally as a Build-A-Figure, but so, Dwight at least seems interested in doing a new one, a new updated version, but whether that's going to end up being the HasLab or not, I have no idea. I personally, we've talked about this a couple different times. I personally would rather see another large figure as opposed to a vehicle for Marvel, but definitely there's a lot of people that I think want to see vehicles. I just don't know which ones are terribly practical. Do you think with the plastic free packaging, figures that display with windows will go up in value since they be only way to display in a box going forward? I mean, any older figure is possible, but do I think I mean, we've talked about this a few times since I buy 90% of my stuff online these days. The windowless packaging doesn't bother me because I don't really have to worry about figure swappers and, you know, since I'm buying it online, it's not like I'm able to look at the figures before I buy it anyway. But I understand those who still, primarily buy their stuff at retail stores, why they're not super happy with the whole windowless boxes. I do feel like especially like with the Marvel Legends, they should do something like cool artwork on the front as opposed to like showing a picture of the figure. I'm not like, I don't think they're not knocking my socks off with the look of the packaging. But since I open 99% of my figures anyway and throw away most of the packaging, it just doesn't bother me personally. So, but do I think like older figures, just because of the packaging, will go up in value? I doubt it. Obviously there will be figures that will go up in value, but I'm not sure the packaging itself is going to be a big factor. Now, I will say though, I don't know, as far as like if you're buying, like, let's set aside figure swappers at retail, but say like 20 years from now, you've got an unopened Marvel Legend figure and you're trying to sell it. Is the person who's interested in buying your figure, are they going to want you to open the figure so they can see what's inside before they buy it? And then does that decrease the value? I don't know, but I haven't found, anytime I go, I mean, I don't go all over the place, but I'll go by my local Target and Walmart. And yeah, generally they don't have a whole lot. Chuck says, are we still talking about the package? You can get over. Michael, don't know. Probably nothing until towards the end of the month with San Diego. I don't know if Hasbro's going to live stream from San Diego this year or what the deal is, but like I know the Hasbro Marvel Legend brand team guys said on, I think it was Dan Young said, you know patience for reveals towards the end of the month. So I feel like it's going to be kind of quiet. Probably what we're going to start to see is companies revealing their exclusives. You know, maybe like starting next week, maybe this week. I've seen like Jazzwares kind of teasing that they're getting ready to show off their San Diego Comic Con exclusives. Mattel. So, you know, Hasbro hasn't, you know, other than that Mojo box set, hasn't really shown anything yet specifically. So I still think that Dr. Mindbender for the classified line, those images that leaked out, I think that's going to end up being their I don't, you know, with, especially with Hasbro, where they're not going to have their exclusives at San Diego. You know, I'm not sure we should even call them San Diego Comic Con exclusives, um, but the reveals are probably going to come for those, and those are probably just going to, you know, be put out there. They're not going to be live streams or anything like that. And then as we, you know, get towards the end of the month, you know, we'll have to see. I kind of figure that Hasbro will try and live stream their panels that they have at San Diego, but again, I don't know whether that's, you know, what they're planning or what. So on the Sergeant Slaughter figure, that's not a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. I believe that will go up for pre-order pretty much everywhere that carries G.I. Joe Classified on July 21st, which is about the time of San Diego Comic Con. My feeling is they haven't specifically said this, but my feeling is they will make some of that figure, you know, they'll bring some limited quantities of that figure to Comic-Con and sell those, and then maybe have Sergeant Slaughter come to his booth, or come to Hasbro's booth and do autographs. You know, again, that's just speculation based on their kind of offhand comments that they've made, but especially since they're not going to actually have any Comic Con exclusives available at the con to buy, you know, I'm thinking maybe they'll have some Sergeant Slaughter figures that you can buy there and then have autographed. But as far as for everybody else who's not attending to the convention, and maybe even those who are, I don't know, but I believe the pre-order, you know, the Sergeant Slaughter figure is going to go up for pre-order on July 21st. So mark your calendars for that. I don't think it'll be anything special. I think they'll just have some, you know, they'll just bring some limited quantities of it to the convention. And then, like I said, you'll have an opportunity, and this again is my speculation, so I'm not saying 100%, but we'll have the opportunity to have Sergeant Slaughter himself autograph your figure. Capona Bear, welcome, and thank you much for the donation. Much appreciated. Uh, eh, maybe. I mean, if it's She-Hulk, I don't know. What's up, Tom? He's gonna be a, I mean, so I mean that doesn't surprise me. He could be, you know, I don't know if Alvarez is gonna have a booth at San Diego. You know, he might just go around to the different booths that are selling his figures and doing autographs. I mean, we talked about this, I think it was last week or something. I mean, Sarge is like, he's got to be bringing in some good money on action figures these days. Between WWE, Hasbro, Valiverse, you know, everybody's doing Sarge. What's up, Bullwinkle 80? I do think we're gonna get Serpentor. I don't know when, but based on the prototype parts that have leaked out, it definitely looks like Serpentor, and even with an air chariot, are very likely. Rick is looking forward to Hasbro's new starting lineup sports line. Looks promising, high articulate. Yeah, I mean, that's what based on the teasers and everything, we know they're 6 inch. I mean, they might do different scales, so they might, but we know definitely they're doing 6 inch figures. The teaser they released, it looks like they will be articulated. So, not really keeping it with the original starting lineup figures, which were not really articulated, but I feel like if you're into sports and you like collecting sports action figures, having some nicely articulated, maybe Marvel Legends style type sports figures would be pretty popular. But I'm personally not that much enough into sports where I'm that interested in collecting sports figures. I've never really bought any sports figures, but but I feel like that's kind of a cool thing to do if that is in fact what they're planning, which again, based on their teasers does look like what they're going to be doing. I would imagine a flight pod or a trouble bubble would be too small for HasLab. That's definitely something I feel like they could do at regular retail. Unless they happen to throw it in with the hiss, which I doubt, but I know a lot of people would be flabbergasted if they gave us something like a trouble bubble with the hiss. But by itself, yeah, I think vehicles like the trouble bubble are too small for HasLab. I don't know. We saw the Recondo bazooka. I don't know. I I I pre-ordered the Zorana and the Dusty figures from GameStop, and then I got a notification. Like I pre-ordered them this weekend, or maybe it was Friday, but just a couple days ago, and then I got an email like an hour later telling me they were getting ready to ship, and I've not yet gotten anything saying they're actually shipping out. So I'm not gonna I'm not holding my breath that they're actually gonna ship, but I am kind of hoping that they do. But we'll have to see. They already sold out of the Crimson Guard soldier, which is probably the one from that wave I want the most, but they were already sold out. So, but I think those who did pre-order it from GameStop got the notification it was about to ship. And again, we'll have to see if they actually ship any of that wave out. Yeah, Julio, I got my Fortnite Snake Eyes the other day. I posted up a bunch of images on TNI. But yeah, it shipped and already in hand. In fact, it's sitting over there on the shelf. Mattel has indicated they will be. I haven't heard anything from McFarlane, so I don't know on the McFarlane front. McFarlane, even before COVID and everything, usually did not have their own booth at San Diego. They usually shared a booth at like the Diamond Distributor booth. So sometimes they would, but they usually didn't have. Often they didn't have their own booth. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up doing that, where they'll have some product on display at the Diamond Distributor booth, but not have like their like where Todd is there. Sometimes, I mean, some years he's there, some years he's not. So I don't know. But McFarlane, as far as I know of, has not given any details on their San Diego Comic Con plans. I think you're right. Starting lineup did start out with baseball, but I do think they expanded into other lines. But yes, Hasbro said NBA is what they're starting off with. In September is when the first figure or figures are supposed to go up. I don't disagree with that. I mean, there's not anything super special about that Fortnite Snake Eyes figure. You get some added Fortnite like accessories, but if you have the regular classified Snake Eyes figures, you know, unless you just like Fortnite a lot, it's probably something you could easily pass on. Oh yeah, I have that entire wave still on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know when Big Bad Toy Store is going to ship it out. GameStop is actually indicating that they are getting ready to ship those figures out to people. Now, whether they actually do or not, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I still have that entire wave on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. So I'll get the Crimson Guard eventually. It's just if GameStop does start shipping them out to folks like within the next week or so, I would only get Zorana and Dusty. I missed out on the Crimson Guard there. Hasbro had the Star Trek license for a while, like back when the first Chris Pine movie came out. But all they ended up doing with it was doing they were trying to launch their building block line to compete with Lego. And so all they ended up doing was stuff for that. They did not do action figures. I guess they didn't feel there was enough demand for it. So maybe it was the second Star. It was one of those Star Trek movies. I think Playmates had the license for the first Star Trek Chris Pine movie, but Hasbro did actually have the Star Trek license for a little while. But all they did was the building block stuff. And do I think they're going to try and get it back? No, I don't. I think Playmates has it back. So right now, I think Playmates is going to be. I don't know if Diamond. Diamond keeps like indicating maybe one day, we'll see the Enterprise C released, but kind of is hesitant. So I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like maybe Playmates is kind of like put the squeeze so only they are going to be doing Star Trek stuff for the foreseeable future. But Playmates isn't doing 6-inch figures; they're doing like the 5-inch stuff. So Leonard, well, I mean, I definitely, when I pre-ordered it, it was like, we'll see, it's worth and if they don't ship them out here soon, I'll just cancel the pre-orders. But that was the only reason why I pre-ordered them from GameStop, is because they were showing indication they were going to ship them out here soon. Now, GameStop did ship out, like they were the first ones to get the X-Men wave, the new X-Men wave. So like I got my Siren figure there before anyone else had that figure. So they have gotten some, and they've been getting a lot of McFarlane stuff early as well. Like they've been the first to get a lot of the McFarlane stuff, Spawn and some DC Multiverse. So, I won't say it's impossible that they somehow have been able to get the new G.I. Joe classified, but I would not be surprised if they don't. And if they don't like ship it out within the next week or so, I'll probably just cancel those pre-orders. You started a GoFundMe to pay. I don't know, man. If you got to do a GoFundMe to do a crowdsourcing, maybe it's better that you just don't get it. Yeah, that's more recent, but yeah, Playmobil did that Star Trek Enterprise, and I don't know if that have you seen that Knight Rider kit that Playmobil? That looks really cool. Like the thing lights up and the headlights work, and you get the little red thing on the front of the car that works, and again, pretty pricey, but I only have Siren, and I saw Vulcan at Target the other day, like last weekend. All they had was Vulcan, but I didn't get him. I've got Maggot coming from Amazon, which should be here in a few days, but I would think Super 7 would ship out the Thunder Tanks before Big Bad Toy Store, but I don't know that for sure. I did get a notification last week that the Thunder Tank had been delayed until like November. It was originally going to be out this month, which I don't think anybody is shocked that it got delayed. But I got that notification from Big Bad Toy Store that the Thunder Tank was now due out in November. And even then, I'm still not going to hold my breath that it'll ship in November. But that is the latest update that I've heard on that. I don't know. I don't think those have actually been released yet. I mean, you can pre-order them, but I don't think they've actually shipped out to anybody. But I won't swear to that. Henry, I got my wave from Big Bad Toy Store for the Storm Shadow wave, but I don't know. Actually, I take that back. I got Spirit and the Cobra Officer from Big Bad Toy Store, but they've not yet shipped Storm Shadow. So, but like I pre-ordered that wave from them when it first went up. It may be they're just getting limited quantities in. So if you pre-order it from them, I don't know if they'll ship it out right away. Go look and see if they have it listed as in stock or still up for pre-order. But yes, they've at least started to ship out some of that wave. And Amazon, if you can, they may be sold out there, but Amazon was shipping out that wave as well. But again, part of it is like where like places are getting in, I think, partial inventory, and so they're going out to the folks who pre-ordered them first, and then people hear, oh well, Amazon's shipping them out. Let me run over there and pre-order it there, and so they're going at the bottom of the list, and then Amazon sells out of their initial inventory, and so now you're gonna have to wait until they restock it and get more of their inventory in. I was definitely, Larry, annoyed with the Mattel Creations website when they canceled my pre-order for the Wondar figure. And Walmart is getting in store. I've seen people finding the Storm Shadow Wave at physical Walmart stores. I don't know if they've shipped any out from their website, but physical stores seems to be the place to find that wave right now at Walmart. Yeah, somebody just asked. I don't know if they've actually started to ship. You can pre-order them, but I don't know if they've shipped any of them. I haven't heard. I don't think I've seen anyone have them in hand. So I'm gonna say no, but I won't swear to that. Yeah, I think they like Mattel put it up for pre-order. It sold out in like 3 minutes at like noon the day it went up, and then they relisted it a few hours later. But I think anyone who pre-ordered it when they relisted it, they must have put it back up in error, and so I think they canceled everybody who pre-ordered it the second time. They canceled those orders. I did. I've seen they have a video that they've been running up on Facebook. So that thing is hugely expensive though. But if they had done the refit Enterprise, I would have maybe been tempted to get it. But because it's the original series Enterprise, um, that was based on the price, and I'm not as much of a fan of that version as I am as the refit. I don't think I'll be adding that to my collection. But it looked cool. I mean, it definitely looked like they did a pretty good job. Wave one, last I heard, is still sitting out. I don't know if it's actually out in the water or if it's just sitting on in a warehouse that hasn't been, but no updates on when it's actually going to start shipping out to folks. Well, like I said, Chuck, at least with the Spirit and the Cobra Officer and the Killer Croc, those they've started shipping to folks. Storm Shadow, I think, is the only one out of the newest wave, or that wave, I should say, that has not yet shipped. And that's because, they're getting solid cases in of the figures, so they must not have gotten their Storm Shadow cases yet. No problem, Chris. Thanks for all you guys who come in every week. I agree that because obviously they did not have that many because it sold out in like 3 minutes. They should not have if they had plenty of Wondars in stock, then I have no problem with them doing three. But if they only had a very limited supply, then letting people buy three I thought was ridiculous. So yeah, and then when they went and canceled all the people who pre-ordered it when it went up the second time, what I feel like they should have done is they should have gone back and canceled the duplicate, like anybody who ordered more than one Wondar, let everyone have one Wondar, and then, that might not still have been enough to fill all the pre-orders, but that would have still gotten the figure into more people's hands. But I feel like all they did was, if you ordered three when it went up right at noon, you still got your three Wondars, and then the people who pre-ordered when it went up a couple hours later, none of those people are getting their figure. So I feel like they should have canceled the duplicates and just let everyone have one Wondar. And yes, if they were going to only have so many few Wondars available, they should not have made the limit three. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Maybe for WWE, but I have not heard anything. If they were, they probably announce it during San Diego Comic Con. So if we don't hear anything by the end of this month, I would say no, but it's certainly possible. My guess is it would only be with WWE. I doubt they would do a crowdsourcing for He-Man or something, but I don't know for sure. He's a repaint of He-Man that was originally released as a Wonder Bread mail away or something like that. So Wondar is basically named for Wonder Bread. And he's essentially just a repaint of He-Man with like a different, like I think, is it Zodak's chest harness or something, and it's painted brown. But it's essentially just a repaint they did back in the day that kind of built up this fan following, and then they ended up making a background for him and things like that. I think during the classics line, they created like a bio for him and stuff, and I mean, the only reason why I'm not more upset about it is, I mean, I was gonna get it just because I've been getting all the Origins figures, but it's not a character that like, oh my god, I just gotta have it. So, I mean, if I don't get Wondar, I won't, I'll be able to live without Wondar. But again, I do feel like they should have had more available, or not had the limit up to three if they were only offering so few. I mean, all those Masters of the Universe Origins that they put up on the Mattel Creations website have sold out pretty quick. But I feel like the Wondar probably sold out the quickest of them all. Did it? I didn't get the classic one, but I know they did a classics version. Darren, the Leatherface figure that they've shown is 4 inch. I don't know if they're going to do a 6-inch one, but probably not. But the Leatherface that they've announced and shown is 4-inch. Now they do have a 6-inch RoboCop figure out there, and they're supposed to be doing. I think they said they were doing 6-inch Judge Dredd figures at some point, but so far I think we've only seen the 4-inch ones. Is Wondar gluten free? I don't know if it was bots, but I guarantee you're going to see Wondar figures pop up on the secondary market. I wouldn't pay high prices to add it to my collection. That's what I said. If Mattel doesn't re-release it at some point and I have to do without Wondar, I'll be able to survive. But I definitely would not go to the secondary market and buy it. But I guarantee you will see people selling that figure. I mean, there was some California store that had the figure in stock before it Mattel. I mean, it's supposed to be a Mattel Creations website, but somehow some small store in California was able to get a bunch of them and was selling them in their store before Mattel even put them up on Mattel Creations. So I don't know how that worked, or if that's where like half their inventory went to. I don't know, but Chuck, man, thanks for the super chat donation. Where are the Masterverse figures coming from? Sunman. You mean when? Uh, well, I mean the wave with the Zodak and the Katra um, just went up for pre-order, and the Hordak and the She-Ra, those are all up for pre-order. But I don't know when the next wave is going to go up for pre-order. I know some of those Masters of the newer Masters of the Universe Origin figures are already starting to show up at stores, like the Leech and the Snout Spout and the Montana Wave. Those are all showing up, but starting to show up. Yeah, I know they do have their own store there, but I don't think that's where the Wondar figure was being sold. All right, well, getting close to the end of the stream, so I think it's time to do the drawing for this bad boy. So just to recap, and if you're late to the stream, I already showed everybody what was inside, but basically like Storm Shadow, Spirit, classified figures, the Croc Master classified figure, the Walmart Baroness Retro classified figure, the Python Patrol Viper figure. Those are all in here. But this is how it's going to work. So I'm going to just randomly scroll through the comments, not even looking, and whatever name the cursor ends up on is the person who's going to win. The only caveat is you do have to have a US address for me to send this to. If you're still here when I call your name and you don't have a US address, let us know and I'll do another drawing. If I call a name of somebody who is no longer here has left the live stream early, I will give you 24 hours. You come back, watch the video, and see if your name was called, and I'll put my email in the video description so you can claim your prize. And they'll have 24 hours to do that. But that's the rules. Main thing is you've got to have an address here in the U.S. for me to mail this to, because I'm not going to try and ship this big ass box internationally. So if you live outside the U.S. but you have somebody who has a U.S. address that will, I can ship it to them for that. That will work. But again, you have to be able to give me a U.S. address for this to be shipped to. So. And the box was provided to me from Hasbro. So once again, a big thanks to Hasbro's PR team for sending this out to me. All right, so I am kind of mixing up. Make sure my cursor's over the names. All right. All right, we're good. All right, so mixing it up now. All right. Oh, wait a minute. All right. All right. Mr. All Mine, you are the lucky person, assuming you have a U.S. address. I'll write the name down. So Mr. All Mine is the name that the cursor landed on. So now, Mr. All Mine, are you still in the house? Oh, wait, here we go. Mr. All Mine, congratulations, my friend. Says he lives in California. So now what you'll need to do is you'll need to email me at jay@enewseye.com, and I'll put that, once this becomes a regular video, I'll put that in the video description so you don't have to try and decipher or write it down. But jay@enewseye.com. You'll want to email me. You'll have to give me your full address. Not here, don't do it here. But you'll want to give me your address, and then I will get this mailed out to you sometime this week. So you'll probably have this in hand since you're out in California. It's going from East Coast to West Coast, so you'll probably have it sometime next week. So, but congratulations, man. And with everybody, I do appreciate everybody who came in here tonight. As always, we have a pretty full house tonight. Even when I'm not giving away stuff, free stuff, you guys usually are in here, so always appreciated. But I think we are going to wrap it up now, because I think we've pretty much talked about everything. Let me just peek over here real quick, get a last minute update on the HasLab his tank, see where it is. Like, I have no doubt that the HasLab will get over 14,000, but I wanted to get over 14,000 sooner rather than later, just so we can go and find out what the fourth stretch goal is. But right now we're at 13,643 backers on the HasLab his tank. So I am hoping we will break 14,000 by tomorrow. I don't think it'll be any sooner than tomorrow, but hopefully sometime tomorrow it will get over that 14,000 mark. All right, guys. So as always, stay safe out there. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.